Hello and welcome to another first video on the Aviationist channel on YouTube. Hope you guys like the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more aviation related videos. Today we're going to be looking at the different aircraft used by Qantas Airlines. So without further ado, let's get straight to the video. So ladies and gentlemen, guys, the first aircraft Qantas used in 1920 was this one up here. This little one right here, which is the Avro 504K. They ordered one of them during the First World War. Then, 1923 brought about the Airco de Havilland Comet, or DH-9C. In 1923, there were 3 of them flown. Next plane brought was the de Havilland DH-86 Express, which was in 1934. There were 3. 1939 saw in total 9 aircraft, 9 short S-23C Empires. There was 8 S.23s, and there were 8 of them, and there were 1 S.33s. Next one we have, turn up the brightness here. Next one we have is the short S.23C. Oh no, I've just said that one, sorry. The de Havilland DH-86, there were 3 of them in 1934. Then, in 1939, there was the short S-23C Empires. There were 9 of them flown, 8 S.23s, and then 1 S-33. Next aircraft to be used was the consolidated PB2B Catalina, 12 of them. So they had 7 PB2Bs, these ones, and then they had 5 PBY 5As. Next on our list is the consolidated LB30 Liberator. This one here. The consolidated PB2B Catalina was from 1943. 1944 they got the consolidated LB30 Liberator. There were 4 of these flown. That was for Qantas Empire Airways. Next on our list is this one here. This is the Douglas DC-3 from 1945. There were 18 of these aircraft flown. Next one we have the Avro Lancastrian. The Avro Lancastrian was in 1945 and there were 4 of these aircraft flown for Qantas. Qantas then moved back to short for the S-25 Sandringham in 1950. There were 5 of these. In 1947 it saw their first of Lockheed's aircraft. The first of their Lockheed aircrafts, the L749 Constellation. 7 of them were built. There were 5 Sandringhams, then it was the 7 Constellations. Then they have the Douglas DC-4 and the Constellation from 1947. 1949 saw them bringing around the Douglas DC-4, an upgraded version of the earlier mentioned Douglas DC-3, which is this one here. Then they jumped down all the way down from here to here with the Douglas DC-4. Douglas DC-4 was in 1949. 6 of them were ordered. The next plane to be ordered was de Havilland Australia DHA-3 Drover. In 1950 there were 5. And in 1958 there were 4 de Havilland Canada DHC3 Otters, which are these little ones down at the bottom. Now we move back up to the top of the list for the next column. So at the top here we have the Lockheed L1049 Super Constellation, a longer version of the previously named Constellation. That was in 1954 and there were 16. 1959 saw them order 4 Lockheed L-188 Electra aircraft. There were 4 of them, as I said. Their first jetliner was in 1959. They ordered their first 20 Boeing 707s. They had 707-138s. They had 7 of them, and they had 13 707-113Bs, 138Bs. Then, in 1965, there was the Boeing 707-338. And for that one, there were 21 of those flown. We move on to our first 747. This is one of the 2 bigger 747s, if not the bigger 747. No, I think this is the second biggest 747. It's the Boeing 747, the Boeing 747-200 and the 300. Don't know if you can see that quite on the camera. Anyway, it's the Boeing 747 and 200 and 300. So that's it all the way. Its tail is over here. It's just too long for my screen of my Chromebook camera. The next one is this little jet here. There was 29 of the 747s. They had 29 of them. They had 23 747-238s, and they had 6 747-338s. Then and that was in 1981. In 1966, they had their first Hawker Siddeley. Their first 2 Hawker Sidleys, actually. The HS 125s, there were 2 of them. Then they had a shorter, smaller 747, this one here. So, it's a lot shorter than its predecessor. In 1992, there were 2 of them. They were like a shorter Continental one. There was 2 of them. Next, we have British Aerospace 146-300 QT, which is this little one down here. Well, it's not quite little, is it? It's this one here. There were 18 of these, 6 146-100s, 10 146-200s, and 2 146-300s. Next on our list is the first 737, which is a 300. The aerospace one was in 1992. Then we jump down to the 747-300 in 1993. There were 23 of these aircraft flown, just here. The biggest 747 they've ordered, I'll have to scroll out just for you to see it, in 1989 was the Boeing 747-400. There were 31 in total. There were 25 of the 31 in total, so there were 25 747-438s, and there were 6 747-438ERs, which is extended range. Now I'm just going to have to move this, and we'll make our way on to the next sector. And we move back up to the top of the list with this plane here. In 1992, there was the 1989 brought that huge 747-400. Now we jump up to 1993 with the Boeing 737-400. 22 of them were flown in 1993. Then we get the Fokker, not Fucker, not Fucker, it's Fokker. For all those people out there watching this video who might think it's a swear word. Which I'm not blaming you. If you didn't, you won't, because that's not necessarily going to be the kind of person you are. Was the Fokker 100. Fokker is a Netherlands or a Dutch company, whatever you call it, Dutch or Netherlandic, I don't know. Dutch. I've just checked with my source, it's Dutch, not Netherlandic. It's Dutch. It's a Dutch company. The Fokker 100 from 2015 was the Fokker F100. 17 of them were ordered. We move on to our first smaller Airbus. Well, actually, it's the first Airbus. Airbus, 2004 brought about the arrival of the first Airbus A320-200. There were 4 of them in 2004. Then we moved down the list again. Ignore that tail because that's a 747. Actually, no, we move back across up here now. 2002 brought about the arrival of 39 Boeing 767-300s. There were of the Boeing 767s. There were 7 Boeing 767-200s, and there were 32 767-300s, which is the one you can see here. Next one we've got is the Bombardier, or the Bombardier, or the Bombardier, whatever you want to call it. I say Bombardier. Bombardier. Is the Bombardier Q400, or Bombardier. It's Bombardier Q400. There were 54 of them ordered. There were 5 DHC-8. Well, that's the other name, is the de Havilland Comet 8-8. The de Havilland Comet -8 200, and there were 5 of them. There were 18 DHC-8 300s and 31 400s, which is this one, is the Q400. Next one we move down to is the Boeing 717. The Bombardier was in 2000 and the Boeing 767 was in 2002. Anyway, in 2001 we see the first Boeing 717 arrive. There were 23 of them. Now here it changes to it's the same aircraft, but it's with the Jetstar livery. The next aircraft we move on to is the first of the 2 Dreamliners. Still in Jetstar, we've got the 787-8 in 2013, the Boeing 717-200 in Jetstar. There were 14 of them. In 2004 they came out. 2013 was the Boeing 787-8. There were 11. Another 737 here. We have the 737-8 down here. There's a 737-8. In 2002 there was a 737-8. 75 of them were ordered. Then we've got the Airbus A330, the biggest Airbus they had, other than the A380. Was the A330-200. There was that was in 2002. There were 30 of them ordered. The A330-200, which is this one, and then the slightly longer. There were 20 of them, and then there was the slightly longer A330-300s, which is just ever so slightly longer and more passenger seats. Then on to the biggest plane in the world and on the list, rightly so. It's the Airbus A380 in 2008. This came out in 2008. They had 12 of the Airbus A380-800s in 2008. There was, as I said, sorry if I'm repeating myself, there were 12 of these ordered. We then moved down the list to the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. 14 of these were ordered in 2017. In 2017, 14 were ordered. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. 787-9, there were 11 in service and then 3 on order. And the final one on our list today is the smallest Airbus that's on the list, I think. Possibly. No, it's not. It's the A321P2F, which is a freight, passenger to freight, I believe it's supposed to mean. And there are none flown at the moment. They're on order as of 2020. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. This is to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Qantas last year. I just didn't do the video in time. Please leave a like and subscribe. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down below as to what you think or what I should do next for the video. But for now, stay safe with COVID, and we'll see you in the next video. And I'm afraid that's all the time we have for. So thank you for choosing to fly with the Aviationist Airlines. We have landed. Stay safe.